It's almost Christmas.
The badger with a pine nut in his mouth, is that what that is?
Christmas. It's Christmas time. I don't know why I did that.
That doesn't make any sense. Neither do my shoes, because they don't work.
This is Barely Furcasting, featuring Taebyn and Injured Nerves audio production. Well, hello, Taebyn. How are you today?
Well, hello, Barely. Well, it's a day, and it's going well, and I wag, and I think that's all I can really say about that. How are you doing today, Barely?
I'm not doing too bad. I want to say hello to you and to everything that listens to us out in the Podiverse.
That's right. Now we say everything, because we've got things. There are things.
We don't know what's listening to us. We have no
We
way.
don't. We don't want to accidentally offend, so we'll just say everything. Although, of course, that's going to offend something because they're not a thing. So it's not a something because they're anyway. Hi. It's so
Hello
confusing.
to all that listen. There you go. All.
There you go.
All that listen. And
All.
I am barely normal, and I feel like that I am sometimes. Just barely normal. I just
Just
feel like that lately.
barely. Yeah.
Are you having a good holiday season? Because it is now in the middle
It's
of the holiday season.
officially the holiday season. Yeah, so far it's so good. I mean, I hang around in the house, and that's what I do. And good thing that I like my house, because that's where I am. When it, just like I've been talking about during the summer, I get out and try and go for a little puppy run. But now it's a little more rainy now, so I kind of have to improvise and run around up and down the stairs and stuff like that. And it's good exercise, and it's kind of fun. So yeah, it's a good holiday season so far. How about you, Mr. Barely?
So far, so good. Again, staying home, not doing anything fancy schmancy. This week, I'm going to go pick up my tree.
Wow.
I have not decided yet whether I'm going to pick up an artificial tree or a real tree.
When you do, are you going to do anything with it, or just put it right back down?
I will probably just put it right back down.
Okay, good, and then leave.
Probably in the house, and then leave. Yes, pick it up.
In the house. Okay.
Yes.
You're not just gonna pick it up from the lot and put it down there and then leave.
It's less money that way, clearly.
Unless they have a pickup fee.
Last week we talked about Qdoba versus Chipotle.
Oh, yes, we did. I remember. Yes.
We also chatted about an all-vegan place that I had mentioned, and I was wondering if that was one of those too.
Uh-huh.
I looked it up, and that place was Native Foods.
Native Foods. Oh, yeah. I think I've heard of that. I've never been there, but I think I've heard of that.
I don't recommend it. I ate there once, and apparently this bear isn't meant to eat vegan food because it just made me really, really sick.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So I feel if I would have eaten there, I would remember that. So, okay, good. I will stay away then.
But I blocked the name out of my head, which I probably should not, in case somebody says, "Hey, let's go to Native Foods for lunch."
Okay, yeah, sure, that sounds fun. And then afterwards, we'll go on a roller coaster and
yeah, exactly. And then the other place we talked about that were similar to Chipotle and Qdoba is Taco Del Mar.
Yeah, I do know that place, but I've never been. I always thought fish tacos were kind of weird, but I have had one once, and it actually wasn't that bad. Like, for a long time, I thought I really don't want to try that because that just sounds like the antithesis of what a taco is.
Taco's just a Mexican sandwich.
It's true, but a fish sandwich?
Have you not heard of the fillet of fish at McDonald's?
But that's McDonald's.
Well, I mean, the fillet of fish is a fish sandwich, and if you go to Louisiana, you get a catfish po' boy.
I have heard of that.
Yeah.
I never had one, but I did. I think I even knew they were from Louisiana or Georgia. But are they mainly Louisiana?
Anywhere down south there. That's what I got for follow-up. I think you had something you wanted to talk about for follow-up, too.
We were both noticing after we signed off last time that my sign-offs are getting longer and longer and longer. And what was the last time I was you were like, okay, goodbye. And then I was like, yes, goodbye, all you furs. It's so great to have you here. And thank you so much for listening. And I hug and I wag. And just when you think I'm going to say bye, I'm like, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And oh my, and you're just like, Taebyn, shut up.
And on, right?
And,
yes.
And so before we know it, it'll be an entire pup episode. It's be like, well, come on, we'll start. And you'll say, hi, Taebyn, how are you? And I'll be like, well, blah, 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 blah. And an hour goes by, and I've just been saying goodbye the whole time.
We have no mail. No one's written us anything once again. It's sad. Which brings us into that's kind of a nice segue into our media.
Media.
And
Hi.
and I'm gonna let you start with your
Me?
media. Throw you for a loop there.
Yeah, my loop is so thrown. I got really involved in preparing for today's pupisode, and I totally forgot to remember what I've been watching. So let's see. We've been
You
watching.
forgot to remember.
I forgot to remember. It's important not to forget to remember, but sometimes it's hard to remember not to forget that.
It's hard to remember what you've forgotten too.
And I forgot what I just forgot what I remembered. Anyway, what am I watching? Right, we've continued Young and Hungry. We're in the third season. It's still cute. It's still good. It's still kind of got its classic sitcom twists. We ended Queen's Gambit. That's about it for me.
We started watching Queen's
What
Gambit.
do you think about it so far?
I didn't realize that they were going to show a 9-year-old girl getting into a tranquilizer addiction.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, right. So that was part of the no spoiler alert, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I did not expect that either. I mean, I will say she lives.
Well, good. Obviously, that would have been a very short series.
Yeah, I figured you could have figured that out, but I think it is good to know that it's like no, it just totally side rails into totally different thing. Episode
Okay.
two. No, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good,
it's,
good, good,
it's
good.
totally
So it's like,
different now.
ooh, do I wanna keep watching this? So I was like, "Yes, I will keep watching it." And, of course, I'm continuing the Santa Clarita Diet and The Crown and The Boys. You know what it is time for?
What time is it for?
It is time for us to post the link for the 5-minute Furs for Fun. And since, we have 37 members in the chat now, maybe one of the new ones will pop in. We'll see. While we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some more media stuff. So you might recall several episodes ago when we had Chiron on from Florida,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
and he suggested we invite a comic author on the show by the name of Rick Griffin.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Do you know Rick Griffin?
I do. I've hugged Rick Griffin.
Really?
Yeah, so at my very second FurCon, which was Califer 2016, so the last Califer, Rick Griffin was there, which of course is the author of House Pets, of which I
Hmm.
have, I think, seven of them. They're like big comic books. They're like 100
Yes.
pages each or something. I don't know, 50 pages. Really great. I love House Pets. Anyway, he was there at as a guest of honor, I believe. So of course he had a panel. So he's talking to his thing, and at the end he's like question and answers, and everyone had all these questions and stuff. And he gave answers too. I think other
Hmm.
people gave answers, but he gave most of the answers. And my question at the end was, I raised my pausey and said, "Can I give you a hug?" And he was like, "Sure." Literally just like that. So I
Uh-huh.
ran up on stage and hugged Rick Griffin, and I think I have a picture of it somewhere, and that was very exciting. Anyway,
Nice.
he wouldn't remember me, but that would be really cool to have him on the show.
I had never heard of him or of house pets before.
Okay.
So I, of course, it's all published online, housepets.com. So I've been trying to catch up. Now, he started this in 2008. He has about 3 or 4 a week, and they're comic strips. They're just like the newspaper comics, the 4 panels like you would see in the
Yeah.
newspapers.
Mhm.
And so I've been trying to catch up on those so that I can speak with authority as to the house pets. I find it hilarious that the mom and dad of the house
Uh-huh.
pets can hear them. The humans can hear
Oh,
them
you noticed
talking.
that too. Yeah.
Yes, the humans can hear them talking, which is kind of fun. And the fact that the main 2 characters are Peanut Butter and Grape Jelly.
Yep.
Now, Grape Jelly is a cat, Peanut Butter is a dog, and their last name is Sandwich,
Yes.
which I thought was hilarious. Peanut butter and grape jelly sandwich. I
Yep.
love it.
I love that they use grape too, because like apricot
Yeah,
jelly is
right.
not that great, but
E
grape is pretty awesome.
right, yeah. I also find it funny that their neighbor dog likes to dress up as a cat.
Yeah, that's right. So it's no, that's right. I remember. I actually haven't read these for a few years, but you're bringing memories back. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
love them. And there's King and all the other great characters. And so I bought like the physical. What do you call it?
books.
Comic books? Yeah, there you go. Hey,
Yeah, they're called
and
books, yes.
you learn something new every day. So I bought them, and I said 100 pages. They're not 100. They're like 50 or pages or something.
It's fun to read. It really is fun to read, and it's quick, but I think I've gotten through all of 2008, only have, what, 11 years to go? Um,
I mean, that'll go by in a blink, right?
That'll go by in a blink. So I think it'll be kind of fun to have a comic strip author on the show. It
So
will be
that'll be a
nice to have
good addition to the repertoire, as it
repertoire.
were.
How do you spell that?
THAT.
There you go. Well, I get the feeling that no one's going to join us again.
Haven from last week just happened to message me and said, "How's the avatar coming along, lol?" So you might remember when we talked to him, he had, I asked him about how do I get into VR, how do I make an avatar, and all that stuff, and
Mhm,
he gave
mhm.
me some suggestions. And so I took his suggestion and bought a base avatar, not one of the $500 ones, more like a $30 one. I think it'll be a good Haven. So what you have to do is it's a base. It's just got the shape and the form, but no colors or anything. And so what you do is you plop it into Blender, which is this amazing thing, which I guess apparently I've been looking at tutorials. Lots of big movie companies actually use Blender in their animations and stuff. And it's free and it's great. So I've done that. I bought the avatar. I've plopped it into Blender and started learning about how to use it. And well, just like any editing thing, there's a lot involved. So I haven't gotten very far. In answer to his question, I've started.
Yeah, I can't do any of that because I don't have a Windows-based computer.
So you said that last time, and that makes me
Mhm.
so sad. I'm so surprised though. Why would they not have
Steam is Windows-based, not OS-based.
Blender? I downloaded. Don't use Steam for that stuff.
Right, but you'll be able to drop your avatar into Steam as far as I know. I don't know. I am an
I think
ignorant there, so
ignorant. I think you can. I'm not 100% sure, so I'll find this out. But I believe you don't need Steam to do the
okay.
VR stuff. I mean, you can.
Do the base avatars, are they like, do you say dog or fox or cat, or is it just like a stick figure?
So mine is actually a pretty well carved out collie, but I mean you can get like I've been on some of these sites where you can buy some of the stuff and everything, and there's the full gambit that I've seen. Anyway,
Alright.
yeah, no, we should try and get you into one of that because I'm
Yeah,
sure it seems like Mac should be able to do something like that.
you'd think so, but hey,
The world in which we live is crazy.
it is crazy, but I think we should get to our guest today. What do you say?
Yes. Let me stop talking about things that I don't know anything about, and let's get to our wonderful guest by the name of
Quoise Raccoon.
Quoise
And he
Raccoon.
called in a few weeks ago on the 5-minute furs, and he was so very interesting that we decided to call him back as a featured fur.
Featured fur. So I weigh. Let's talk to our friend Quoise Raccoon.
So joining us today again is Quoise Raccoon, and welcome to the show, Quoise. How are you today?
Good. Hello. How are you?
Hi, just fine. My name is Taebyn, and I'm a pup, and I am doing good and fluff, and I weigh to have you on the show today. So thank you for that.
Well, I'm honored to help you wag. So,
Yay!
yay.
Help the wag.
Help the
Help
wag.
the wag. Yes. Yeah.
One viewer equals one wag. So,
Wow. Okay. Well, we have over 3,000 downloads, so that means he has to
oh
wag for
my God.
3,000
Yeah,
times.
it's
So
good exercise though. It's a really good exercise for this pup. So
Just don't fly away.
I'll try not
Don't
to.
wag too fast.
it's
Maybe
every
I
day.
can, because sometimes I run around the coffee table counterclockwise, and then sometimes
Mm.
clockwise. But maybe I can combine that with wagging a bunch of times, and then maybe I can find new techniques for exercising. I don't really even know what I'm talking about or anything. So anyway, hi.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Hi.
Yes, of course. Of
Of
course.
course.
Quoise. Oh, we're starting already. Okay.
I know. I'm sorry.
So we had you on a few episodes ago. You dialed in as one of our 5-minute furs for fun, and you had talked to us about some things. And so we thought we might expand on some of those things.
Okay, so is yes, I can expand on. I know I talked about why I'm named Kois
Yes.
and why I got a fursona,
Which was in the
Yep.
usual manner. It was a slightly different manner than usual.
which was like, yeah, exactly. It was very boring situation. Should I just
Yeah,
re-explain
just
it?
go ahead and
Sure.
read it.
Yeah, go ahead and re-explain it.
We'll just
Yeah,
do another rundown. So,
let's not make every fur like find the few episodes and find the little
no,
few minutes where you talk about that. We're not going to make you furs out there to work. We're just going to like feed you the story right now. So take it away, Quoise.
So
Yeah.
open your mouth and get fed.
It's dinner time about. But yeah, so the story, let's start. So before I was a furry, I wasn't.
Wait.
That's
Okay, so back up. How does that even work? I'm already
I don't
confused,
know.
pup.
Well, it sounds exactly like it.
Okay, I'll just have to
But
take your
one
word for
day, yeah, exactly. I just popped into existence and I was like, yeah, this sounds like a good idea. I'll be a furry.
it.
And so
Who
with
actually
that,
says that? Okay.
it's I don't know. I feel like the backstory is not even that interesting either. So I'll just be like, one day I was a furry. That's all you need to know.
One
And
day I
then
was a furry.
yes, one day I was a furry. And then I was like looking into conventions I wanted to go to. And the local con at the time, and I guess still is Furlandia. And I wanted to go, but I didn't have anyone to go with, and I wasn't going to go alone. So I decided to volunteer. And I went to one of the planning meetings, but like nobody knew who I was, and everybody thought I was just some rando who stopped
Like,
by from the
who's this
hotel. And I
bomb in
wasn't.
downtown Portland that's showing up?
Yes, exactly. I was like, "Hi, I'm just here for my layover. I guess I'll stop in."
Is this the Amway meeting?
Yeah. Are there free snacks?
Yeah.
No, we're far from that. Go away, go away.
Yeah. So I dropped in and I was saying how I wanted to volunteer for the convention, and they were asking me like my history about being a furry. And obviously, being newly joined into the fandom, I didn't have any backstory or a persona. And I like was getting questioned about my legitimacy as a furry because I couldn't explain how I didn't have a persona, and I was like, "Oh no, get booted. I'm gonna get kicked." And so the next meeting, I came back with a fursona, and while I was away, I was thinking, I was like, I like raccoons. I like the color blue. I'll be a blue and black raccoon, and my favorite color is turquoise, so I'll shorten turquoise to Quoise, and bam, my fursona was made. So I
Bam.
showed up and I was like, hey everyone, I have a fursona now. Like, let me in, let me join the club.
And did they
And
let
they
you
were
join
like,
the club?
yeah, they did, which was really funny because my first furry convention was also my first time emceeing a convention. So I was taking in a furry convention for the first time while being on stage, like hosting it. And I don't know why they let me do that, but they
They
did.
did, and I but there it is.
So a newbie shows up and winds up hosting things at a FurCon.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's pretty much my life. I have a lot of wild stories, and that's definitely one of them. And I really was overwhelmed and didn't know what to do. And I was like, oh, I gotta do some research beforehand. So I watched like other people host furry conventions, and that helped. So,
Okay.
fake it till
Okay.
you make it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
And you did a wonderful job that first time.
Thank you. And they let me do it again next year with Taebyn. So that was fun.
They did who's
Aw.
why did they let them what am I trying to say? Hi. Why did they let you do that with that crazy pup? I don't know. That's crazy.
They knew our energies would just be the best. That's my guess.
Oh, there was energy there. Yeah, that's
I'm
Yeah.
guessing they had no idea.
No.
Well, see, I don't know if the words are to their credit because that's not the words. Whatever the correct words are. I mean, they already knew who I was, so it's their fault. So
It's their fault. They hold all the responsibility. So-
responsibility.
Responsibility. So you are an artist.
Yes, I am an artist. I do many forms of art, and I don't think there's really a medium I don't dabble in.
Dabble, medium. I love these
Yeah.
words you're using, like spontaneo manifest.
Ooh, I haven't heard that one.
I don't think anyone has. I think I might have just made that up.
So you only use medium, you don't use large or small?
No.
No, I tried small and that didn't really work out. So
Okay.
I thought medium would be better.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
large was too heavy.
It was like it was like Goldilocks situation.
But in this case, it was the medium that was just right.
It was the
Just
medium and
right.
not the mind reader type.
No,
So
yeah, right.
Right.
Oh
That's
my
right.
cow.
So what is it that you art?
Yes, so that's a multifaceted question. So let me
Faceted.
unpack that a little.
Okay.
So I graduated Portland State with a degree in graphic design. So I've been doing graphic design for about 5 years now. But prior to that, I was doing illustration. And for like 2 decades of my life, I was enrolled in like traditional art classes like drawing and painting and watercolor. And over the course of college too, I also started getting into like digital art. I was combining like graphic design with my traditional arts background. So I was doing like a lot of furry art too.
That was in college too? So
Yes, I was
but
in college too.
okay, good.
Not college one
Right,
or
exactly,
three
good.
too. And sorry, barely.
He knows me,
Okay,
he's
I'm
not
used to it.
surprised.
Mhm.
I know, but it's like doubling down now. But
Yep,
yes,
yeah.
and then I also started getting into crafting at the same time. You know, I started doing like fursuit building, hence these paws, which like the viewers can't see, but just believe me, I'm wearing blue and black paws.
He is.
And I built my own fursuit head. I need to do the bodysuit still. So I've been doing a lot. I'm kind of like jack of all trades, master of none. I do like a little bit of everything, but I'm not a pro in any of them.
Do you ever run around a tree in a counterclockwise fashion and then sit and then nip at random fluff that floats by?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked that. Sometimes I do. And after I'm done with that, I will take out my sketchbook and start drawing
Okay.
to calm myself.
To calm yourself. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you're not a pro at that, right? That you're still working on the
No.
perfecting the random fluff thing.
Yeah, no, that's more your speed. You know, the coffee table, the fluff, the tails, you know.
The hugging of the
The
plant.
lamps.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. I have many plants too, as you can see.
So do you do commissions or do you just draw for yourself or what do you draw for?
Ooh, yeah, I actually do both. I have done a lot of commissions and I gained, I don't know why, but like for some reason, my following on Reddit, like took off. And so like that's where most of my posts are, which is very weird because like Twitter, I don't really have a lot of followers. However, I don't post a lot on Twitter either. I post very sparingly. Mainly I do like, I don't know, a couple commissions here and there and nothing major. Just because I'm so busy with like other personal projects. Like right now I'm doing some design and illustration for like an upcoming jazz festival.
Oh.
And so a lot of my time has been like preoccupied with non-furry art. But when I get the chance to do furry art, I definitely do. It's just sometimes hard to like get commissions done when I also have like a slew of other projects for clients I have.
Well, at least you have clients. That's good.
Yes, I do. And like art raffles are a really great way I've learned to like grow your following count. Not that I have like a lot of followers or like that's my priority. It's just kind of more for fun, but
Mhm.
it did help when I first started.
Well, if there's anything that one person knows, it's the guy in Pennsylvania who put his rat erotica art
Oh,
on the local PBS station for donations, and he got picked up by John Oliver. I mean,
You just never know. You really just never know.
truly an honor. Maybe I can strive to be that one day.
right? Set your art to the OPB, the Oregon Public Broadcasting, for their drives.
Should I DM some to John Oliver and then get back to
Yeah,
y'all?
yeah.
Sure, that'd be kind of fun.
And
Okay.
you drew a nice little thing for us. I think like right after you were on the 5 minute furs, you drew a nice little fun thing for us.
Yes, that was part of my Inktober challenge,
That's right.
which I can elaborate more on.
Yes. Now that it's over, yes,
Yes.
elaborate.
Thank God it's over. Honestly, you don't understand. Like sometimes being consistent with art is very hard, but for those of you who don't know what Inktober is, it's a art challenge that happens in the month of October where you are given a prompt and you have to draw that prompt with using only ink and pens on paper. You can do digital, like it's totally fine, but the general gist is like a drawing every day for the month of October.
And so it's every
And I
day.
did that. Yeah, so every day.
Hmm.
And I actually finished on November 9th because I'm a terrible artist. I'm canceled. I don't know. I just get busy, or sometimes drawings take 2 or more days. So womp womp. But one of the prompts I drew, Taebyn was involved. It was a suggestion. I think the prompt was dig.
Yeah.
And it was me skating by in skates saying, "Ya dig." And Tegan was walking by with a pie shirt on saying, "No, I bark." And I thought that was funny.
That's- It's true, it's true, and it had pie on the back,
Yes, it had
the
the
Greek
the
letter.
symbol pi, not like blueberry, but the
Yeah,
numbers.
the Greek letter pi.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, that was wonderful, and it turned out so cutie. You did good job.
Thank you. Tune in next year
Exactly.
for Inktober, which I don't post on my furry accounts. It's only my like real life accounts.
Right. Okay.
Maybe next
Cool.
year I'll do like a furry Inktober. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm neglecting my like few followers of
You're
art.
there you go. So your art career
Yes.
so you have your art career, and that's great. You recently graduated, and that's so exciting, and congratulations. Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yay.
yay. And so how did your art intersect with the fandom? I mean, so I'm guessing that your art didn't start furry because this was more of a recent thing for you. So at some point, your art kind of crossed over. And how did
Mhm.
that all go?
Yeah, that's a good question. So actually in high school, I had like a pretty negative view of furries and I was like, ew, y'all are weird. And like don't get me wrong, I still hold that view,
Yeah,
but less
yeah.
so.
Don't I mean, as you know, we all do. So
And I was like, ugh, gross, whatever. I guess I'll join. But
I wanted
I like knew what they were, and I was like, okay, like y'all are weird, whatever. And so one thing I was really into high school is like watching making of movies because I was really into like prop fabrication and I was really into like costume design in movies. So I would watch like a lot of Star Wars documentaries about like the making of costumes or like a lot of like the making of Alien. I thought those were so cool. And I would just like watch tutorials of people making their own costumes and cosplay. And obviously, while doing that and looking up like sewing tutorials, I came across like a lot of fursuit makers making their own costumes. And so I was like, I can't escape this. I guess I'll watch some fursuit
some
maker
ew, furry
videos.
thing. Don't tell anyone though.
I was like,
Jeez.
ew, it's gross, whatever. I'm just watching this for research, not because I want to.
But isn't it interesting that now you're a trash panda?
Yeah, I know, exactly. So that's funny how that happened. So I kind of learned about like crafting and sewing from furries, and that kind of like changed my mind about like the creative side of the fandom. And I realized like how rich the artistic, capability of furries were. And I was really inspired by that. The more and more I watched these fursuit making tutorials, the more and more I realized like the extent of the creativity furries were capable of. And that really changed my perception of the fandom and really helped me like explore a different side of my creativity, which was like 3D tangible artwork instead of just like 2D with paint. I started doing a lot of like prop fabrication for music videos that my friend and I would make. And I started doing like a lot of costume design. And I remember I took this costume design class in college and it was really fun and creative. And that eventually led me down the path to start building my own fursuit. I felt like I had enough skills to attempt it. And it was really fun to like combine my previous artistic knowledge into like designing a character and then actually building it and bringing it to life. And I got a sewing machine, I want to say 2017 or 18. And I took these sewing classes in my hometown of Boise, Idaho, a lovely little place.
Boise, not girl
Not
Z, but
boys here,
Boise.
but Boise.
Oh, and were you the only boy in the class?
Yeah, I was. It was me with like all these old women, and they were like, "Oh, how lovely to have a young
Mhm.
lad here." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, Mary."
I'm sure they said it exactly like that.
No, it's like, "Thank you, Gertrude. Thank you, Susan. Like, I'm glad I'm here too." And they were like, "What are you making?" And I'm like, "A fursuit."
Nice.
And they were like, "We don't know what that is. We're just glad you're here." And I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, I was like, "Don't worry about it." Like, it's no worries. And so I would say that's definitely how like my art started to like intertwine with furry art. And then ever since then, it's been, I can't leave. I guess I'm here forever.
Yeah, you're stuck.
I know. What a
Mhm.
tragedy.
I know, right? But you've got to embrace the trash panda then, I guess.
Yes.
And we are better
I'm
for it.
glad.
And we
Yes.
are, we are.
Also, it's funny. My parents have no idea like what any of this is, like what being a furry is, and neither do my friends. Like literally, no one knows I'm
Hmm.
involved in this, except like two of my friends, which is very entertaining.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Hmm. So when they come over and see big furry paws, do you just tell them that's your slippers or what?
No, I keep it in my closet. I
Yeah,
know.
He's
They're
a
yeah,
always like,
closeted
ew,
yeah.
furries. I'm
furry.
like, yeah, totally. That's like weird.
Like weird. I've heard what they do in the privacy
I
of
know.
their own
I
home. It's like,
sit
come on,
wearing
don't.
paws on a podcast, like, oh my God.
But you know what I found? If someone else brings up furries, that means most likely they're furry.
Oh, believe me, I figured out one of my friends was, and now we're really good friends.
Mhm.
Okay, because like, how do you even know that word? What are you even talking about? I mean, nothing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what? Like, no.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
So has being in the fandom shaped your view of the outside world more than just making the fursuit?
I think it. Ooh, I don't know. That's like such a hard question.
So before you answer, I want you to do that again. The you just did.
Okay. Why?
Okay. The way you did it was just wonderful. I don't know.
Well, thank you. You can set it as your ringtone. I don't know. Just think of me every time you get a text.
I will. I'm just hearing it now. It's like, that's my ringtone. Anyway.
But anyway, so has it affected your view of the outside world?
I think it affected my outside view of the world just in how sheltered everyone is with like being themselves. And because like when I first entered the fandom, it was such like a different concept to me to see people like unapologetically be themselves and like not really have to, I don't know, be under the weight of like social pressures of how you're supposed to act. And like that put me in like an identity crisis. I was like, oh my fluff, like am I like how true am I to myself outside of the fan? I'm like, oh, like, and like, so it's definitely gotten better. So it's opened my eyes to see, how closed off people have been with being themselves outside of the fandom. And so, being in the fandom has definitely helped me see
Mhm.
that a little bit more clearly.
Okay.
And yeah, and obviously like being outside the fandom has helped my perspective looking in on the fandom. So I think it goes both ways too.
Well, especially since one day you just woke up and you were furry, which is an amazing story.
Pretty much. I don't know what prompted me, but I was doing midterms and in my hardest year in school and like in a bunch of clubs like badminton and kickboxing and had like core classes. And then I was like,
Badminton, kickboxing, what sport is that?
no, not at the same time.
Oh, I thought that was a new combined sport.
It's kind of like that thing pickleball, which I still have not understood. But have you heard of this? There's a real sport called pickleball.
Pickleball?
Yeah, pickleball, yeah.
It's like what, a cross between hand mitten ball head moo. I don't know. What is it?
I don't know. Are there pickles? Like,
There aren't. You don't. No, it's like a cross between handball and badminton or something. Actually.
oh,
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it played. It's like a paddle a little bit bigger than a ping pong paddle, and
Hmm.
a ball a little bit bigger than a handball,
Hmm.
but a little smaller than a racquetball.
well, I'll play you. I'll play you in it.
Okay.
And I think we all know what you do during halftime.
He pickles.
Kosher
Yes,
dill?
That's why they call it pickleball, I guess. I don't know.
kosher pickles, of course, or dill. Kosher dill, nothing better than a kosher dill out of the old big pickle barrel.
No.
In the Jewish deli down the street. "I have a pickle, it's good for you, it'll make you put hair on your chest."
Yes.
And that's sweet because there are sweet pickles too. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the bread and butter pickles.
Gherkins?
Gherkenstein.
Bread and butter, and a gherkin. Have a gherkin, it's the best pickle in the world, I
I
tell
don't
you.
know what's happening right now, actually. This is these
I don't know, how
words.
did we have totally
Yeah,
gone
I
down
know.
the pickle
Who
pickle.
mentioned pickleball? Hold
Oh, we are in a pickle now, I tell you.
on. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I don't
I know.
pickles.
So anyway, I guess like back to furries.
Back to the furries. Now, are you doing a furry Christmas this year?
What is that? What is it?
I don't know. I'm just asking a question.
I mean, I can't answer yes because I don't know what that is.
Oh, well, that's where you decorate your tree with all furry stuff, you see.
I don't even have a tree.
Oh, well, it's not time for a tree yet anyway. Not even Thanksgiving yet, so.
You're right. You're right. Sure. Maybe I'll have a furry Christmas with a stuffed animal. That'll be like
Yes, there
that'll
you
be
go.
it. It'll be fun. So, are you having a furry Christmas?
No,
Okay.
No, I'm barely having a Christmas. So.
I don't think anyone is. We're not really in the right spot to be having holidays.
Nah, no, I'll probably take my husband and disappear to the coast for the weekend or something.
Oh my.
Oh my. Hmm.
Oh, wow.
Quoise, do your thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And Koise's new art is voice acting now.
But he's only got one line, or should I
Yeah.
say sound.
You better trademark it. Trademark it now.
Oh my god, I know. I need to copyright that as soon as this is over. Please, no one steal it.
Okay, so you're busy. That's really great. You have clients and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you have, well, we know some of what you do in your free time. You do some more art, you do some costuming, you do things. Do you have other things, maybe non furry related, or what do you like to do? And, I ask it like that because we had Renegade Rue on the show at one point, and he said that in his free time, all he does pretty much is furry related stuff. So we know you do some furry related stuff in your fur time. But what other things do you do in your free time? What do you like to do?
Yeah, so my other art, I'm going to give an art related answer and a non art related answer. So,
Nice.
my art related answer is that I am currently working on a children's book. I mean, it's done. I just need to publish it. I've been applying for grants. I'm in the process of maybe getting one. I made it through the first round of applicants. So, hopefully, I get a grant
Nice.
and that'll help with like printing costs. I'll send you a copy.
Awesome.
Probably it's not like a good story time book to read, but like it's like 46 pages, but
So, no, that'd be that chapter book.
Oh, okay. I see.
Chapter 1.
yeah, it's lengthy. So like you can read it on your free time though, like no issue there. But
Maybe I could read it like in installment.
you could if you want. It's like that's up to you, but
Well, we have such a wide listenership that it would get your word way out there.
yeah, totally. Yes. So that's like my non-furry endeavor. Wait, that's my non-furry art endeavor. And then my other non-furry non-art endeavor is like like I said, I really miss just going to the gym, honestly. I mean, I really miss just like working out and being active in some way. I know I mentioned kickboxing and badminton, not kickboxing, badminton, unfortunately. It's not a sport yet. Maybe one day.
I think we need to make it a sport now. Yes.
I really love doing anything active with my body. I just love moving. I'm very hyper. I like to move around a lot. And so, being in this quarantine, it's been hard. So I try and go on walks like every evening in the park near my house just to get out and get some fresh air because it's hard being cooped up.
Oh, yes, it is. So, you know what you should draw? I'm going to give you something to draw.
What?
I think you should draw you, me, and Taebyn doing kickboxing badminton.
There you go. And the name for it should be Good Glove
Good glove?
because it's not badminton.
Oh my God.
So we've got a title for you and everything. Now all you have to do is draw it.
Okay, Good Glove. Starring the team is me, Barely, and you, Taebyn. What should our team name be?
Maybe that's what it should be.
That should be the team name. The team name is
Okay.
But in only that special way that Quoise can do it.
Yeah, I don't know how I'll translate that to a drawing, but I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't sweat it. I got you.
I like it. Good. Nice.
All right. So you go for walks, and is that how you're keeping healthy? I mean, are you like eating vegan and stuff like that, or just
No, I'm not eating vegan. I unfortunately do love meat a lot, so
No, that's not unfortunate. I can stay your friend. That's fine. You can stay my friend. We can stay friends.
you heard it here first. Vegans, Taebyn is not your friend.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I hide under couch with Quasi sticking out or something.
Ah.
So for all you vegan furs out there, I love you. I want to go on record by saying I'm gonna stop talking now.
Taebyn's name has been cleared.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yay.
I
No
love how
more.
you said that, Barely. You're like, yay, no more,
Yay.
yay.
And the fan goes wild. Yay.
The fan goes,
Furries in the news. Taebyn is anti-vegan.
no. We have a furry in the news item now. Great.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not exactly what I was hoping to, see in the news, but apparently this thing happened, I don't even know how.
Dog patches on it.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. Oh my fluff.
Yeah,
Oh, we are spiraling way out of control.
I know. What are we hold on.
What is even going on here? Hi, Quoise, how are you? It's good to see
Hi,
you
yeah,
again.
so let's, reground ourselves back to the basics. Art,
Mhm, mhm.
Oh, yeah, you're a free team. Team time.
Yeah, your free time, yes, so
back to my
back to your free time.
Another thing I've been doing in my free time is my friends have been getting me to like play video games. I didn't play video games growing up and I'm still not a gamer. And so they make me play scary games for their entertainment.
Mm.
Oh my cow. This pup does not approve.
What kind of scary games?
I don't know, like where things jump out at you.
I hate
Oh,
that. Oh my fluff. I hate that. But
They've been making me play Left 4 Dead 2. It's like, I don't know if y'all know what that is. I don't know.
sounds like a fun game.
It's like a zombie game. So
Nope,
I get very anxious running away from hordes of zombies.
nope.
well, I can understand that.
But I have a new appreciation for video games because I think the art and the character design behind it is very cool. And like watching the artists draw out the characters for these video games has been like a new little hidden art gem for me. I'm sure everyone else in the world is like, yeah, we know like video game art. Have you not heard of it? No, I haven't, unfortunately. So tell me some slack.
Better late than never, I guess.
I know, exactly.
Is it VR stuff or is it just holding the controller and looking at a TV screen?
No, it's just on my laptop.
Oh, okay, alright.
But I turn my lights off and it's spooky.
Oh, wow. I could not do that. That's very brave of you. Wow.
No, I'm very thank you.
So 2 years ago, I bought my husband a full VR setup to play he plays video games, I'm not a gamer.
Mhm.
And so I lost him for several days standing in front of the TV, waving his hands and had the whole mask on and the whole bit. And he's like, "You should try this. This is really cool." And he put it on me. And of course, zombies and stuff started chasing me. And I was like, "Nope,
It was the zombies one. Okay.
nope, I'm out." Nope. Because in VR, wow, it's even because, things move and they come at you and they're hitting it. It's like, nope, nope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I tried that once. In fact, I think it was Furlandio one year, Andrew brought his VR thing he had, his Oculus. And so I tried it. And like, I think I tried the little swimming around with dolphins thing first. And that was fine. That was totally fine. And then I tried the zombie one, and it's like, I want to go back to the little fishies and dolphins. It was so scary. Oh my cow! It was so scary. Anyway,
Nice.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
yeah, I did not last very long. It was just so scary. This was even like not even playing the game. I think there was a part in teaching you how to do the controllers and stuff. And the little guy would come up and talk to you and like push this button to do that. And so it was just like the intro thing. But they still had the zombies, and even that scared the oh, I was so scared. So needless to say, I did not try the even first level.
I think it's been decided I'm not gonna try VR.
Okay.
Glad we could help you out for that.
Good call.
Yeah, thanks for the review.
Yeah, plus it's not cheap either.
No.
Stuff's
It's like
expensive.
$300, $400 or something.
Well, I guess it's cheaper than a fursuit.
This is true.
Just
As far as hobbies go, you pick and choose, I guess. You pick and choose.
Yeah.
you gotta pick your poison.
Exactly.
So yeah, it turns out there is art in video games.
Yeah, so it's like, you know how there's like art of Pixar books? Well, there was like art of video game books, and I was like, whoa, that's really cool. And oh my, there's a lot of creativity with like video game art and environment design and character design.
Yeah.
And that opened up a whole new world for me.
Yeah. A whole new world.
Yes. So I was very excited to learn about video game art.
No, yeah, that's definitely it's very much well, not so much surprising, but everywhere you look, there's always, when you least expect it, something that you didn't expect, and it's just great and just opens up your mind. It's like kind of how we've had all these guests, these wonderful, wonderful guests on all the pupisodes, and we've had artists and dancers and book writers and all kinds of people and furs, and it all kind of is a different. I look at it as it's a different way of looking looking at the same thing from totally different eyes and you get new inspiration. Even if, okay, so maybe you're not a writer, but hearing a writer talk can give you inspiration into something else you're really interested in. And it's really cool how everything comes together like that.
I agree. I 100% agree with all that. I think you actually touched on like one of my core beliefs with art, which is to be inspired by art outside of your own medium. I think it's really important, if you're an illustrator, not just to look at other illustrators, but listen and interact with like dancers and writers and like fursuit makers or like cosplayers to learn from their art form to like strengthen your own, even if it has nothing to do with like your own art
Yeah.
form. I think that's like one of the most core, beliefs I have in art. So I think it makes your art a lot more interesting and a lot more impactful. So
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. And, before we started doing the pupcast, I never really thought about that. And then, kind of like I just said, the more and more artists and writers and dancers and just all these creative furs out there, the more that have come on and talked about things, you can hear like the same sorts of things in everything they say, just from a totally different viewpoint. And yeah, I definitely appreciate that even more now, how different facets, I'll use the word facets, of artistry can come together in totally surprising new ways.
I agree. And, I even think that math has helped shaped my artwork in a very, and like, this is, I know you're gonna get excited,
I wake.
but I promise you, I'll let you down after I explain.
I wake. I wake. I wake.
So, what I mean by math has helped inspired my own artwork is just the illustrations in the math book covers, not like numbers.
But a lot of those math books and calculus books have some great art on it. There you go.
I know. Like it's an aesthetic that I don't think a lot of people utilize, and I think it's cool. Like it's different.
So do you, optical illusions, do you ever get involved in that, or do you find those interesting, or have you tried making your own optical illusions?
Yes, I used to be obsessed with illusions as a kid. You called me out, you got me.
So you know MC Escher then?
Oh, of course. Absolutely. A big inspiration. I actually have like a really funny story involving illusions. So I used to be really into having like I don't like back in the early 2000s, like 2005, there used to be like illusion notebooks with like spirals or like wavy designs that like fool your eyes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember this.
Yeah, and so when I was a kid, this one kid had a folder that I didn't have yet. And so I like pulled him aside after class
Uh-oh.
and I was like, "Hey, tomorrow meet here at lunch and I'll give you $5 for that." And he was like, "All right, word." And then the next day we did a trade in class and we were like sneaking around, like trying not to have the teacher see because you're not supposed to be in the school during recess or whatever.
Make sure the cops weren't there and everything, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "You have the stuff?" He's like, "Yeah, you have the money?" And I was like, "Cool, okay." And I got my illusion binder.
And that started your life of crime.
And I got it and I still have it.
A surreptitious folder deal.
I know. Don't tell anyone.
Well, there might be an outstanding warrant for your arrest on that.
I know. I know. I'm going to get expelled.
So, Kois, with the holidays coming up, what are you sticking around? Are you going to Boise? Are you going to be with family, or what are you doing?
Ooh, yeah.
Are you gonna sit there?
I'm pretty much going to sit here. That's my plan.
Nice.
Black Friday is online. So I'm not even going to participate. I'm just stating that. It's just happening online. I'm not doing anything for it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really have any plans. Obviously, because of COVID, it's kind of hard to do so. And like, it's not even that it was impacting my holidays. Like, I would usually fly back to see family, but it's just like my immediate family. It's not like a large gathering or get together. It's just like me, my parents, and my brother, and that's it. And so,
People you talk to anyway.
yeah, it's like people I already talk to anyway and like call on a weekly basis. So, not seeing them for a bit is okay with me. It's not a big deal.
Hmm.
So what's your favorite plushie? Do you have a favorite plushie?
Yes, can I get?
And this actually relates to what we're talking about, believe it or not.
Okay, I'll get it and then you'll explain. I'll be back in like literally 1 second. You can see it behind me.
Okay.
1,
Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
2. Oh, okay, 2.5.
So here's my favorite plushie. It's an alien.
What is that?
What is that?
What even is that?
It's an alien.
It sure is. Yeah, okay, so you furs out there listening, you can't see this, so I'll try and describe it. It's this.
Oh, this should be good.
Yeah, I don't even know how I'm gonna do. So it's like this orange thing with eyes, but only on the top because it's encased in. It's not lighter fluid,
What?
but it's encased in like
Lighter fluid.
I don't know. That's what come to. It's more encased in like the dryer hose things, the silver dryer hose things.
Okay, that's one way to describe it, yes.
And then it's got these little flappy wing arms that aren't quite it's like mutated dryer things. And then there's the lighter fluid that maybe that what needs to set it. Oh, and it's got little feet thingies with more silvery. I don't even know what that is. And it's got a bottom. And then it's got these little ear things, but they're not ear things, they're antenna that look more like giraffe antenna covered in dandelions. I don't know. It's really scary. But there it is, and it's your favorite.
Well, thank you, Taebyn.
And what is his or her or their name?
I don't have one. I just like it. I saw it at Target and was like, yeah, you're coming home with me.
Okay.
And how old is he?
A year. No, 6 months. I lied. I moved
Okay.
into my place 6 months ago.
6 months. Okay, and so you were at a local Target at the new place you moved to and thought, "Hey, there he is."
Yeah, I had to get some decorations, obviously.
Obviously.
And I was like, oh, I love aliens. Like, of course, as I say.
Or a Quoise, as the case may be.
Oh.
Yeah. I would be terrified if I came home one day and there's the Christmas tree and there's a bunch of those hanging from the Christmas tree. So I don't know if they make good Christmas decorations.
Well, if they were smaller, because that was a really big thing, David.
Yeah, they'd probably need to be smaller, but no, we love him, we love him. And so, oh yeah, that was related by what we were talking about somehow, and how that was related, and it doesn't actually have anything to do with lighter fluid, so I'm not sure what.
No, it doesn't.
So how was that related?
Well, I'll build up, so this requires an introduction.
Please build up. Yes.
The introduction is, first of all, you have to think about which it weighs less, water or butane. And of course, the answer is butane because it's a lighter fluid.
Oh.
But that's building up.
Indeed it is.
Oh.
Taebyn. Okay. No, because earlier you were talking about what you're going to do for the holidays, and you probably sit around with a stuffed animal.
Yeah, my furry Christmas.
And so the furry Christmas thing. So
Yes.
it actually does in this pup's mind, and any fur that knows me isn't really surprised by how that just went because I don't really know what's in this little fluffy mind, and there's all these connections from different directions that are being made. I'm going to shut up now. Hi.
Well, I think that's a really good place for us to end this session. What do you think, Quoise?
I'm very sad.
Well, there's one more question.
Okay.
Oh, he has one more question.
Ooh,
He always has one more question.
it never ends. Please.
I always have one more question.
You won't leave me alone on Telegram.
Please. Well, there's this other thing on the list of things that we were going to talk about.
Okay.
And the last one was things you have done with Taebyn.
Oh, yes. I've done a lot with Taebyn. I think the list doesn't end and it probably won't ever stop. But I think one of my favorite Taebyn stories is, my first interaction with Taebyn. So as I was hosting the furry convention, while it being my first furry convention, I was just absolutely confused and overstimulated with like my sense of it, and I was like, oh, like I don't know what's happening, and I turn around and Taebyn is just standing over me, and I'm like, oh my god, what's going on?
Fluff, lots of fluff, too much fluff.
And then you hugged me, and I was like, who is this? What's happening? And that's how I met Taebyn. Yeah, I was like, and then that was my first interaction with Taebyn, my first hug from a furry ever. And then you just ran away, and I was like, all right, well, back to work.
I just had my first hug from a big dog at my first. Bye, back to work.
But Taebyn, you have to understand that consent is important.
Hi. Yeah, and sometimes, and honestly, I remember this one time at TF. Oh, I remember several times. There's been times, yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. And then, of course, the next year, as Quoise mentioned before, then we co-hosted the dance comp. I think that was the year. Was that the year I was guest of honor?
Yes, it was the same year.
Okay, so that was a busy. So for any fur that's out there that dare to want to, I won't say want, I'll say dare to see this pup and Quoise like interact with lots of energy and bad puns.
Oh my god.
Just look for the Furlandia 2018 dance comp and
2018 dance comp. No, 2019.
2019. No, you're right, 2019.
Yes. We also like, I don't know why they made us do this, but we also judged the dancers for the prelims. And like, I don't know about you, but I have zero experience with dance. So I was just making things up. I was like, 8.5. I don't know. Like, I felt bad, but
Okay.
yeah, I was like, I like your arm movements. Very fun. I was like,
You're really hitting your marks. I like the way that you've used the whole stage.
yeah, it was cool when your jaw flew off. Hopefully that was on purpose.
Yes, that was very nice.
I like how you looked over there at one point. That was nice. Yeah. But it does turn out that for any further that's listening to this, just so that they don't get the wrong idea about Furlandia, it did turn out that like everyone moved on to the finals anyway.
Oh yeah, no one was disqualified for our lack of experience being judges.
Well, that's good. That's good. All right.
So yeah, it has a happy ending, and maybe we'll volunteer at a furry. I don't know. Maybe we'll host another dance comp sometime in the
Cool.
future.
It just might happen.
Sometime in the future. Sometime. It might happen. Well, Kois, I think it's time that we should wrap this up. It's been a pleasure having you on the show again.
We'll just have it. I'll just be an addition to the podcast. You know.
Yes, yes. So, and we do have occasionally we have furs that just kind of say, "Hey, we just want to hang out during the whole pod." So,
Ooh.
Lem did that just a couple of weeks ago.
I'll bring some fun trivia questions, like what's the new hip word the youngsters are using, and can you guess what it is?
There you go. Yeah. It's,
Hmm.
what's the newest craze in sports in
Yeah.
college, collegiate? It's kickboxing, badminton. So it's like,
I mean, that's what it is. It's all because of you, Quoise. No, it's actually good glove.
Good glove.
good glove, good glove. That's right. It's
Yeah,
new crazes because it's a skill that has to be done from social distancing.
exactly. Strength and agility required.
Well, Kois, thanks again for being on the show. It's been a pleasure having you. I hope that things go well. I hope you have a great holiday season. I hope that somebody gives you lots of furry presents.
Yes.
And that I hope one of your friends that's not a furry or that you don't think is a furry comes out to you as a furry.
My senses have sharpened. I found all of them.
Ah, yes. His furry senses are tingling.
You've got furry sense. Yes.
Yes, it's furry radar.
Furry radar.
Furdar, much like gaydar, but furry dar.
Furry dar.
Furdar.
Furdar. You've got furdar.
All right.
So yes, it's been wonderful, wonderful talking to you again, Kois. I can't wait to hug you again, and hopefully it won't be as scary the next time around.
It wasn't scary, it just surprised me.
And could you please, for our benefit and all our listeners' benefit, leave us with your wise words of wisdom, which would be the one important.
What?
No, no, no. It's you know what it is. We've already covered it.
It's your new trademark sound.
Oh, I do have some advice.
Oh, what's your advice?
I know we've tried to end this like 3 times. I'm sure y'all are hungry. But my last word of advice to all the furries out there, if, I feel like this pertains to everyone, but like if I feel like you need to diversify your hobbies a bit. I get the fandom is a very fun place, but it's fun to explore your personality and your hobbies outside of the fandom. If you want to take up cooking, if you want to try a sport, if you want to try, I don't know, lobster fishing, if you want to try tree climbing, I don't know. But I think it's nice to always diversify your interests outside of the fandom. I think it just gives you a more well-rounded experience and helps you meet other people you wouldn't otherwise meet that aren't furries. So those are my parting words.
Yeah. And especially if you want to pursue the fine art of lobster catching tree climbing, then go forth, young fur.
Yes. Go forth. Find a different community and convert them.
With that, we're done. We're done. Okay.
Please block me so this ends.
All right, with that, I'm going to put a stop to this. Thank you very much again.
Please kick me from the call because I will keep talking.
All right, thank you very much again. Let's all say goodbye.
Bye. Thanks for having me. Bye, bye,
Goodbye.
bye.
Goodbye, bye, 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 bye. Wait, wait, Bart.
Right, well, Quoise, what a guy. Quite the ball of energy. Having you and him on the show at the same time is lately we've been having that a lot. I've had to ride herd on the two of you. What is this all about?
I don't even know. But yeah, Kois is a great guy. Lots of fun to hang out with at, well, I've been at several cons with him. And so Furlandia and A&W and several times. So yeah, he's a lot of fun to hang out with.
So, Taebyn, what do you say? Should we get back to our next section?
I say let's get back to our next section. Or go to, not get back, because we haven't been there yet.
And now it's time for Furries in the News.
Furries in the news.
Alrighty then. The only thing that's really in the news right now is that, of course, FC 2021 VR, FurCon 2021 virtual reality.
Ah, yes, yes.
Welcome to Hollywood has opened up registration for the con. This is one of the first cons I've seen that they're charging for a VR con. I don't remember any other VR cons charging a registration fee, but I went ahead and registered as a sponsor
Oh, good.
just to help support them.
Yep, I might register too. Just I don't know how much I'll be able to participate. I'm interested, curious, but probably won't be able to participate much. But I'd love to support them, so I'll probably get a registration anyway.
I went sponsor. It's only $50 for a sponsor.
Okay.
So
And
it
what,
helps
like
them.
10 or something for attendee? I think I
10
saw.
for attendee, and you get for attendee you get a electronic badge and an electronic con book. For sponsor, you get the t-shirt, they mail it to you, and a physical con book and a
Oh,
physical name tag. So this is probably going to be one of the very few weirdness of COVID that I really wanted to have a memory of. So
yeah. So it makes
so
sense. Yeah, yeah.
it made sense to get something physical from a con, the VR con. So that's why I went ahead and registered that. And it's all going to be done on Zoom. And I was wondering, and I haven't found their website to contact them, but I hope they have a room that's just filled with volleyballers because that's part of FC.
That is actually the, not the part, but that's actually a big part of FC that was not meant to ever be there. But like, you don't have FC really without the volleyballs ballers.
Right. Yeah. So if anybody from the FC 2021 team is listening to our podcast, you need to have a volleyball room.
Or else it's just not going to be FC, even though it's VR. It's just not going to be it.
That's all the news. Actually, after scouring the web, there's nothing else really going on other than that. And that's coming up in January. By the way, I should tell everybody it's January 15th through the 18th. We'll probably talk about it at least one more time
Mhm.
before the con actually happens.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
All right. So that brings us up to our math this week. This week is math.
You better be careful because if we don't do together, then we'll be provolone.
What?
And if you don't get that, you better think more Gouda about it.
Oh, are you doing cheese puns?
In queso, you didn't notice. In queso, you didn't notice.
Uh
That
huh.
is how it brie. And I know it's very grating on your soul right now, but I just couldn't reach it. And you better not take my cheese because that's nacho cheese.
Oh, sweet cheeses.
I saw Jesus in a movie once, and it turns out he's actually Swiss.
Oh, because he's holy. I get it.
Yeah, oh,
Oh,
yeah. And
oh, okay.
I better be done with that because I can't think of anything that's more Gouda. But actually, I have some interesting cheese trivia for you.
Cheese related math. If you have four wheels and no, oh,
If you have four wheels and they turn at however many revolutions, no.
yes.
So did you know, Barely, that
Uh-huh.
there are? Well, guess how many types of cheese there are out there?
Oh, thousands.
Well, not more than 2,000, but there are 1,833 types of cheese.
That's very specific.
And of those 1,833 types of cheese, 101 of them start with the letter A. Isn't that
Hmm.
interesting? One is called aged cashew and blue-green algae cheese, which is not the type of cheese I kind of want to eat.
I do not want to eat blue-green cheese
Ch-
algae.
With
No.
algae now.
Hmm.
And do you guess, in the United States, what is the most popular type of cheese?
Cheddar.
That was actually my guess. It's actually
Uh-huh.
mozzarella, which makes sense because
Oh,
probably pizza or something. I don't know the real
yes.
reason, but I'm guessing it's pizza. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is actually followed by cheddar and parmesan, which makes
Parmesan.
parmesan makes sense because of all the Italian food and things like
Yes.
that.
Huh. Interesting.
So that's that trivia. And I want to end with
That was very cheesy.
you feta believe it. Sweet dreams are made of cheese. Who am I to disagree? I cheddar the world and feta cheese. Everybody's looking for Stilton. I had to do that. Okay. Hey, math.
And now math. Let's get to math.
I hadn't done a history of math and a profound thing in math recently.
You
So I
have
thought I'd
not.
do that. I
Awesome.
have not. And I have not when I go boating. Actually, hopefully I have more of them or else I'm going really slow. So I want to talk about Leonard Euler, famous mathematician, and his last name. How would you guess you spell his last name? Leonard Euler.
Oiler.
You would think so. You totally would think so. It's actually spelled Euler. He was a Swiss, well, not a cheddar, but a Swiss mathematician back in the 1700s. He lived something like 1703 to 1784, something like that. Very famous. He was very smart and did a lot of things. He was a mathematician. He also had great influence in fluid dynamics and optics, astronomy, and even music theory. So he was kind of all over the place, and he had very good contributions in every field. So he was such a great influence actually on the world of mathematics that Pierre-Simon Laplace, which was another really great mathematician that I haven't talked about yet, maybe I will in a future episode, but really great.
But you have mentioned him.
Oh, I have. Okay, yeah.
Yes, you
So
have.
we
Yes.
all already know he's this really
Mhm.
great mathematician. And he said about Euler, he said, read Euler, read Euler. He is the master of us all. So some of the things he did that you might know about, do you know about the number pi, barely?
I barely know about the number pi. 3.14.
Pi is, 3.14, it goes on and on and on. It's an irrational number. I've talked about that before. And do you know what it actually is, the definition? This is kind of sidetracked, but
I don't. What is the actual definition of pi?
it's the ratio of a circumference of a circle to its diameter. So if you take any circle and if you measure its circumference and divide it by the diameter of that circle,
Mhm.
you will get 3.141 all the time.
Okay.
Anyway, that's what it is. And that ratio is actually historically called the Archimedes constant. So it goes way back to ancient Greece and everything. But Euler, Leonard Euler, was the one that introduced pi, the Greek letter pi, to be the representation of Archimedes constant. Another great contribution he's made so many contributions, but he developed a mathematical constant called E, which stands for Euler, of course, which some of you first out there might have heard. I don't know, barely have you heard of the number E?
Is that like E equals MC squared?
It's not. No, it's
Oh, it's a different E.
it's a lowercase e. No, this is a lesser known constant than pi. E is just a number. It's 2.717 it's an irrational number. Anyway, it's a number.
Okay.
It turns out Euler discovered this and introduced it into, and it's got very good applications, such as in finance, like compounded interest formula. It's in that. So it's in banking. It's in growth and decay, like radioactive growth and decay of things. It's in population growth. So if you think of a field of mice or something, I mean, it's in all these real world application things. So those are two big things that some first might have heard about. So pi and E are both very special numbers. Like they occur a lot all over the place. Okay, I'm actually going somewhere with this, believe it or not. So are the numbers 1 and 0. I mean, of course, the numbers 1 and 0 are very important special numbers. They're like kind of the basis of all all things. One is called the multiplicative identity, and you have to say it like that or else it's not really that. And 0 is the additive identity. Anyway, they're very special, useful, important numbers. These four numbers, pi, e, 1, and 0, are sometimes called four of the fundamental constants. It turns out there's a fifth fundamental constant.
No way.
And you might have heard of that. Have you heard of the imaginary unit? I don't even know.
I've tried to imagine it, but I can't.
Oh my fluff. So Barely, let me ask you this. Is there any number that you can think of that you can multiply by itself, that is square it, and get a negative number?
Nope.
It's true. Like -5 squared is 25. -1 squared is +1. If you multiply any negative number by itself, you get a positive. In science and engineering, it turns out to be useful to be able to have this thing where if you square it, you get a negative number. For example, if you want to talk equations, which maybe you don't, but I'm going to anyway, the equation x squared plus 1 equals 0. The only thing that can satisfy that equation is the square root of -1. But that doesn't exist because you can't take the square root of negative numbers.
All right.
So the point is that at one point in history, in fact, in the 1500s, by a mathematician by the last name of Cardano, he came up with this number called I, the imaginary unit. It's a number so that if you square it, you get -1. So I squared is -1. In the same way, it's also saying the square I equals the square root of -1. Okay, so I turns out to be this imaginary thing, but it's a real thing that's very useful somehow. So it's crazy. This number I is the fifth, is sometimes called another one of the 5 fundamental constants. I promise you this will not be as exciting for you as it is for me or any other nerdy math out there. So this is more towards any nerdy math but I don't know. Maybe you'll surprise me. We'll see. Okay, so one more thing to set the stage, and it's an arithmetic thing that you may already know. You know about multiplying numbers. Products of numbers 2 and 3, 2.5 and 4. You could multiply pi times 3, right?
Yes.
Pi times 3.94, whatever. You can actually multiply also pi times I. Take this weird imaginary unit and multiply by I. There are mathematical ways to do this. Okay, so that's one arithmetic thing, products of things. Do you know about exponents, like raising something to a power?
Yes.
Like 2 to the 3rd power, you're just multiplying the number 2 times itself 3 times, 2 times 2 times 2. 5 to the 4th power is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, and so on and so forth.
And
okay.
8 to the Power Rangers is something entirely different.
It's entirely different. It's like go morph and pi.
Power Rangers, yes.
Exactly. Okay, the stage is set. So we've got these five fundamental constants that are like really important to like the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be amazing if there were any equation, who cares how complicated it is, or complicow if you heard the last episode.
Complicow, it's going to be complicow.
No matter how complicated it is, if there were an equation that had all 5 fundamental constants in it, wouldn't that be amazing?
I think the universe would fold in on itself.
It would, but it also wouldn't, because the 5 constants would be like holding it together. So this would be like the essence of the universe in a way, right? It turns out that, of course, one goes, hey, there is such an equation.
No way.
And getting back to Euler, Leonard Euler, which we started with, there's this identity, or formula, if you will, called Euler's identity. And it's really simple, actually. I'll tell you what it is. Think about the arithmetic, like 2 to the power of blah, blah, blah. You can multiply I times pi together. Take e to the I pi.
E to the I pi.
E to the I pi.
Sounds like you should make a song about this.
Maybe I should. Maybe that'll be next week. But e to the I pi, this number, this weird number thing that involves those constants, equals, ready, -1.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
So if you think about it, E, 2.717, blah, 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 it's this irrational number. It's crazy. Pi, 3.14159, crazy. Irrational number. I, imaginary. It doesn't exist. I don't know. And you combine all these things, you get the number -1.
-1.
And this is a formula that combines all those amazing numbers into a nice, simple little formula, which is just, even if you don't understand the math or know those are just like, it's amazing. And in fact, it's so amazing. I mean, this thing has been revered for years. There was a professor at Stanford University, mathematics professor, that said this about this formula, this identity. Like a Shakespearean sonnet that captures the very essence of love, or a
Or
painting that brings out the beauty of the human form that is far more than just skin deep. Euler's equation reaches down into the very depths of existence. That's what he
wow,
said. And I think there's a lot of mathematician furs or just people out there that would agree with that. It's an amazing thing. And that was my piece of history and existentialism, if you will, for
right?
this week.
So you said that this was the fifth constant was discovered. He discovered it. So I imagine there's this room with these five constants sitting in it, and outside is the sixth and seventh constant that hasn't been discovered yet.
Then
And they're
they're
just
waiting
like
to come in.
they're waiting. They're like, "Ugh, I wish someone would discover
Uh,
us.
I know. Come on already. I want to be
Come on already."
discovered.
They're behind the velvet rope, and the doorman's standing there. Says, "Nope, nope,
Nope, nope.
nope. Only five allowed at a time.
Only five. No, well, we let Golden Ratio in because, like, well, he's golden, so okay,
He's
only them.
golden.
But
We'll let him in."
no one
Yeah,
else. Come on.
he knew the band. Yeah,
He knew the band. Yeah, he knew a backup dancer actually. So
right. Yeah, yeah. So, well, that's amazing. And for furs that are math furs, if you have arguments or supporting arguments, send in some concepts and tell us about maybe you have discovered the sixth constant. Since everybody's brain has exploded that aren't math furs, I think that we should get to some. What should we get to?
some really, really, really bad jokes.
Really, really bad jokes. All right.
To follow up my great cheesy puns. If this is the first time they've been listening to our podcast, they're like, I thought we just got through I heard about the horrible joke section
Yes,
from
right.
someone else, but I
Hmm.
thought we just did it. I mean, but
Hmm.
no,
Yeah.
you're in for
No.
a treat. Please don't shut up. Well, no, we understand if you leave.
Our first joke comes to us from a fan.
Oh,
He wanted me to read this joke. What lies at the bottom of the ocean and shakes?
a nervous octopus.
No, a nervous wreck.
Oh, that makes so much more sense than a nervous octopus because
Mm-hmm. If you'd like to send us a joke, send us a joke. We'll read it on the air.
why not? I mean, you've
It's
heard
like, why
us. I
not?
mean,
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll pretty much do
we'll do
anything.
I have some trivia here for you, Barely.
Okay. All right.
And I'm going to preface this, of course, by saying for any fur that haven't heard this yet, I have to say this every time, just I guess as a disclaimer, maybe. I don't know. Because they're gonna sue me.
You don't want to be blamed for these really bad
No, no, no,
jokes.
no, no. If you're gonna blame me for any bad jokes, please do for the other ones that I just do out of my fluffy brain, not for these. These are from 1968, so we're kind of behind the times. And this is from a book I have called Funny Jokes and Foxy Riddles. And it's illustrated by Alan Jaffe, apparently. I don't think I've mentioned that before. So this book is full of a bunch of jokes from 1968 that I have not read myself yet. So I read them for the first time on this podcast. I read about a page every week when we do this little joke section. So again, something I haven't read, so I'm just going to say trivia, I guess, for whatever reason, barely. Do you know why men wear watches when they go to the desert?
Why do men wear watches when they go to the desert?
Well, it's because one has a spring in it. So
Oh,
I think that goes
oh,
back to old watches where like they weren't digital and had
right. They weren't
springs.
electronically. They had springs in them. So
They had and
yeah,
so now you can have spring in the desert, which actually doesn't make sense now that I think about it. Like, I mean, it's desert, it's always hot.
a spring like a spring water. The
Oh,
watch has a
okay.
spring in it.
That
Ah,
okay. This is why I have you to help me understand these things, barely. Okay,
so this is going to confuse you. This next joke is going to confuse you.
like the last one did, or more.
More, and it goes back to Roman jokes. Roman jokes always tend to confuse us. A Roman walks into a bar and holds up two fingers and says, "I'll take 5 beers."
I got that. I got that. Speaking of trivia,
Yes.
because this is very important to know. Sometimes it's best to keep a skunk from smelling. Because they're like really stinky. You don't want that, and you want to get away. And it'd be best if you just prevent that. Do you
Mhm.
know the best way to do that, to prevent a skunk from smelling?
How do you prevent a spunky skunk from smelling?
Well, you hold his nose.
There was a discussion in one of the Telegram chats about skunks being smelly,
Oh yeah.
and a skunk pointed out accurately that skunks don't smell, their targets do.
Yeah, that is an accurate statement. Why is everyone so prejudiced against skunks? Because they don't smell. Come
They
on.
don't smell. It's the targets that they squirt smell. Yeah.
It's like you could have a skunk for a pet and it's gonna be okay.
Mhm.
Just don't scare it or something.
That's right, just don't
But
scare
still,
it.
don't blame the skunk for
No,
smelling so bad because it was your fault.
that's right, don't blame the skunk. It does what a skunk has to do. Speaking of doing what a skunk has to do, which has
Yeah.
nothing to do with what I'm going to say, I was reading a book today about different kinds of lubricants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a non-friction.
Oh, speaking of non-friction materials and things that are sticky, what is a bee?
The second letter of the alphabet, or a small insect that flies around, or a grade that I got on most of my math quizzes in high school,
Or keep going. No, you got more. Come on, keep going.
or I don't know anything else. That's what I know.
Or a little humbug.
Oh,
You, you,
yes.
you were so close. Actually, your
I was
your trivia is
so
getting
close.
better. Oh my cow!
Do you know what the difference between people in Abu Dhabi and the people in Dubai are?
One is backwards for Abu Dhabi.
People in Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but people in Abu Dhabi do.
oh, oh, I am liking that. Oh, I need to remember that actually. Oh, so again, every fur, I want to let you know this did not come from me. It did not come from my book. It came from Mr. Verily right here. Thank you very much.
That's all I have. What else do you have?
There are lots of animals out there and everything, and lots of sounds and stuff, and lots of onomatopoeias. This is a word I know, by the way. Onomatopoeia. Do you know what the word onomatopoeia means?
Sound of an animal?
It's a sound word, basically. So any like
Yes.
hum or bark or click clack, that's an onomatopoeia.
Crash, bash, boom, pow. What was that sound? Rumble, growl, slurp, smack. Did you hear that? What's that? Onomatopoeia.
That's a mana.
Onomatopoeia. Which, interestingly enough, how do you think you would spell that? Onomatopoeia.
A monomonopeda. Okay, I'm sorry.
You heard it here first. Or maybe for the 50th time, actually.
Right, yes. And anybody that's a fan of the Muppets,
How do you think you
onomatopoeia.
would spell onomatopoeia?
A-N-A anamana. M-A-N-A-P-I-A. Onomatopoeia.
It actually has an M-A-T in it. It's like and I'm not looking at it. Something like O-N-O-M-A-M-A-T-P-E-A, something like that. Speaking of onomatopoeias, what goes So that's an onomatopoeia right there. So what goes to?
I think I know, but I'm going to ask, what goes oom?
Well, a cow walking backwards, of course. I'm just gonna stop. Okay.
Okay, that's a good idea to stop there. So,
But you do know that makes me utterly excited about the cheese that I just milked from all that.
you've been milking it all session. We have spent an hour. It's hard to believe that we have done this again. I'm going to start closing out. If you want to start your closing now, I'll go ahead and let you say your goodbyes. But I'm going to start closing out and talking over you. But yeah.
Bye. Good to hug you. Thank you for coming. I'm just talking.
So at the end of our show from now on, I'm going to send out hugs.
Okay, good.
And our hug today goes to Edward Hamstar,
Edward Hamstar.
donated to our show.
Oh, really? Well, thank you, Edward. That's so very kind of wonderful.
Thank you for that donation. Donations like yours helps to keep the lights on for our show.
Thank you very much, Edward Hamstar, for your support. We appreciate that so much, and I hug you tight with posies.
Taebyn, it's been a pleasure being with you on the pod for once again. I'm going to let you do your sign off, and I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll come back in 5 minutes when you're done.
Or maybe 25, we'll see. So, okay, I'll start. Hey, every fur, thank you so much for, I'll try and actually not do that. Hey, every fur, thank you so much for, listening. Really, it means, a lot to us. And I can't wait to get back together at cons and things when we can hug with posies and stuff. And look at how I am dragging this on. I said I wouldn't, but hey,
Right. Yeah.
That's what I do apparently. So next time I'll work on 50 minutes. We'll see how that goes. But other than that, thanks so much for listening in. And I wag, and we'll talk to you next time. I say bark, bark. Have a wonderful week.
Barely Furcasting is an Injured Nerves studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms or can be heard directly at barelyfurcasting.com. The opinions expressed here are those of the hosts and their guests, and no commercial compensation was granted. The Furcast is produced, recorded, and directed by me, Barely Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by myself and our associate editors Rain Raccoon and Canes. This week's interview was edited by Rain Raccoon. Opening and closing theme music, as well as some interstitial music, was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by our music associate Regday with Damien Tanuki. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at barelyfurcasting@gmail.com or on our Telegram chat at BFFTchat, on Twitter, on our Facebook page, or on the barelyfurcasting.com webpage. You can also help support the show through donations at ko-fi.com/barelyfurcasting. Thanks for listening. We hope you come back and listen next week.